Hello and welcome to Beat the Number, NBA Morning Edition. My name is Abby. Today we're here to discuss with you the top picks and plays on the early morning edition for the NBA. Again, we have a full slate of games today for the early number. Again, the first game on deck here is Indiana at home against Atlanta. Indiana 4.5 point favorites. Total is 231.5. Right now, the total has gone as high as 240, so it's jumped dramatically here. This total. Again, where we're getting this information from, just to let you know, oddslogic.com. This gives you the latest up-to-date news, injury reports, totals, over/unders, point spreads, line moves. That's oddslogic.com. Speaking of the injury report, we're going to check the injury report here for this game. First, we'll check it out here for the Atlanta Hawks. See if the Hawks have any injuries. We'll get an update on that now. Just one moment. This is for the Atlanta Hawks at the Indiana Pacers. Just bear with me for one moment while we get this information. Okay, so the Atlanta Hawk injury report is as follows. Bojan Bogdanovic out for personal reasons. Clint Capella back, rule out. Jalen Johnson is out. For the Indiana Pacers, Andre Nembhard back, questionable. Benedict Mathurin, illness. Let's see. Let's get an update on that. Veteran Mathurin. Yeah, he's questionable to play Saturday, so 50-50. Isaiah Jackson, Achilles, out. James Wiseman, Achilles, out. So, we'll dive deep into this. Yeah, we're going to do a deep dive into this game here. That's Atlanta at Indiana. I believe they have played already. Look into this further. Head to head, we'll look at the history of this game. Actually, it's the first meeting of the season between these two teams, believe it or not. First meeting of the season. 3-7 Atlanta, the last 10 games against other opposition. 5-5 against the spread. 3-7 to the under. Hawks, last 5. 0-5. So they're in a major tailspin. And 2-3 to the under. So they're lacking on offense. Majorly, they're majorly lacking on offense. So they're having offensive issues clearly here. 2-3 to the under. Defense is there, but the offense is lacking. Indiana, the total opposite. 8-2 last 10, 8-2 against the spread, 4-6 to the under. 4-1 the last 5 games, Indiana. 3-2 to the over. Indiana has covered their last 2 games. Covered at home against Detroit, at San Antonio. So they've covered 2 straight home games. Covered Philadelphia, covered Detroit as a favorite. And they covered Golden State. So they've covered 3 of the 4 games they've covered as a home favorite. So Pacers are now 5. Let's see if that's changed. It is 4, sorry. And it's gone all the way up to 8 now. 8. This one's gone up to 8.5. You're seeing 8s, 8.5s on the board. So it's gone up. It's a major jump, this game. Let's look at this further. I would take Indiana in this game. Indiana, I'd take the Pacers. I like him at 8. See if you can get this number up to -8. If it's past -8 and it goes to 8.5 and 9, I'd be very cautious. But see if you can get the Pacers at 7.5, 8 at least. because right now we're seeing a bunch of 8s. It's -8. So if you can get the Pacers 7.5 to 8 as a favorite, take it. If you like the dog, then you're gonna wait. But like myself, I like the Pacers. Take him here at -7 up to 8. That's my advice to you for this game. Anything on the total? I'm passing on the total. I have nothing on the total for this game. Next game, Orlando at Utah. Orlando, they're 5.5 point favorites. Total 214.5. Right now they are 216. Well, yeah, we're seeing 216s. We see 217, but it's mainly on the board right now. They're 216, and we see 217. Like I said, this is at FanDuel. Everything else is 216, 216.5. That's the main consensus. So the injury report here for the Orlando side, for Orlando Magic. We do have Jalen Suggs questionable with a knee injury. Montez Wagner out for the season. On the Utah Jazz side, Cody Williams out indefinitely with an ankle injury. So again, we looked at the total, but the side is still at 5.5. That's the consensus right now. So we're looking to this game further. That's Orlando, Utah. Orlando seems like they have a healthy squad back in the lineup. Now the Atlanta game is today at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So is the Utah game. So we have 2 early games today. This one's at 5 o'clock as well. Orlando, Utah. They did play about a month ago. Last month they played in Orlando, January the 5th. Orlando was a 9-point favorite in Utah. Jazz covered in 1. The total was 208, and it went under the total. So Orlando looking for some revenge in this game. So Orlando here, they are 2-8 last 10 games, 3-7 against the spread, 5-5 to the over/under. Orlando's on a 6-game road trip. They are 0-2 on the road trip, and this is their 3rd game on the road trip. 1-4 last 5 games, 3-2 to the over. On the Utah side, 1-9 last 10 games, 4-6 against the spread. And 6-4 to the over. Utah's lost 9 games in a row, and they are 2-3 to the under in the last 5 games. So the Jazz clearly struggling on offense and defense. So they're bad in both areas. This game here, we're gonna look at this further and see. Both teams playing to the under last 5 games. Let's look at this total one more time. I think we said the total pushed up. Yeah, 217. That's what we said. 216 mainly. Yeah, it's pushing up. I'm going to take Orlando here. Orlando -5.5. I think the Magic exact some revenge from their earlier their loss last month at home as a favorite. I think they covered the spread at 5.5. They have because right now they have a healthy squad. The squad is healthy. Everybody's in the lineup. I believe Orlando covers the spread at -5.5. I would take Orlando, taking with confidence. It's sitting at 5 now. I would get the 5 right now if you like Orlando, like myself. I got a feeling this is going to go to 6, -6 Orlando. I like the Magic here in this spot. So get them while you can. This is a very good number. I would take the Magic here, 5.5. Nothing on the total. The total's a complete pass for me. Next game, Denver at Charlotte. This one opened up -14, total 221. Right now we're looking at 13.5 are coming across the board. Total is at 223.5, 223. So that's Denver at Charlotte. Let's get the injury report first of all for this game. On the Charlotte side, we'll look here. Let's see, one moment. So Charlotte, we have for the Hornets, Mark Williams. His status right now, as of Saturday evening for the 7 o'clock starts. We'll check here again. We do apologize. That's Mark Williams. He is questionable to play Saturday at Denver, 50-50. Cody Martin, questionable to play Saturday. Core injury, Josh Okogie. Hamstring, questionable to play Saturday. LaMelo Ball out indefinitely with a leg injury. Brandon Miller, wrist injury, out for the season. Trey Martin back out indefinitely. Grant Williams out for the season. For the Denver side, for the Denver Nuggets, we have Russell Westbrook, a hamstring injury. He is questionable to play Saturday, 50-50. Vlatko Kankar out indefinitely. So Denver's on a back-to-back. So there's a chance Westbrook may or may not play on this back-to-back. We'll see. Right now, this game is going to be a pass for now. I'm going to wait on the injury report on Westbrook and the other players on Charlotte. Get an update on their situation to see what's going on. So this one's a pass for now. I'm just going to wait. I'll give you a pick on this later on this afternoon if I can find some value, but right now I'm not seeing any value. I know it's a big number. I'm talking about the spread and the total. We're just going to wait on that. Next game, Sacramento at OKC. This one is open up at -9. OKC. Sacramento's 234.5. Right now we're at 9.5, and it's 233.5 is what we're seeing right now. So on the OKC side, for the OKC Thunder, Alex Caruso, ankle out indefinitely. Lugs Dort, upgraded to probable. So, chance he may play. Actually, he is going to play because he's upgraded, so he is going to play in this game. Chet Holmgren out indefinitely. Sacramento. Doug McDermott is questionable to play due to an illness. So Sacramento OKC 9.5. I believe you're starting to, let's see something here. Yeah, 9.5 in this game. And it's 234. Let's look at the history of this game. Maybe look at something here. One moment. Look at the history here on this game. Denver, Sacramento. I'm sorry, Sacramento, OKC. So they did play at the beginning of the year, November 25th last year. This is in Sacramento. OKC at 3.5-point favorites, and OKC won 130 to 109. The total was 225 and went over. So this is the second meeting. Let's see. Yeah, second meeting. Sacramento last 10 games against other opposition, 6-4. Last 10, 3-6 against the spread. 3-6-1 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. So Sacramento is on a 6-game road trip. Right now, 1-3 on the road trip. Last 5, 2-3 on the road trip. They are 3-2 to the over, Sacramento. OKC. They're off a 2-game road trip. You know how I am about that already. Teams coming back from a road trip, first game back at home. OKC 7-3 last 10 games, 5-5 against the spread, 8-1-1 to the over. 3-2 last 5 games, and Last 5 is 4-0-1, the last 5 games to the over. That's Oklahoma City. The only way I can look is the over in this game. Over 234 and a half. It's 230, and in some market the total has come back down to 233. But there 1,000% is buyback on this. I can feel the buyback on this, so that's why if you get a 233, I'd play it back. I'd play it to the over, 234. I don't see this game going any other way, but over the total. So again, it's going down to 233 and a half. I'm not sure why, but I'd still take. Like I said, there's buyback, and I'd take the over 233 and a half at some books. So definitely take it. Even 234, bet the over. As far as the side, I'm gonna pass on the side for now. I'm not gonna touch this. Maybe look at an OKC first half. Maybe that's a look. But for now, I'm not touching anything. I'm gonna just take the over in this game. Over the 233 and a half. That's where I see the value. Next game we're gonna look at Washington at Minnesota. 16 and a half is the opening number. Minnesota at home, 222 and a half. Right now it is 223 and a half. We're seeing even a 224 starting to pop up. So look at the injury report for this game, as we always do. That's Minnesota at Washington. This is an 8 o'clock start. I'm sorry, Washington at Minnesota, 8:10 Eastern Time start. On the Minnesota side, we're going to look here. See the update here from Minnesota. Julius Randle growing is ruled out for tonight's game. Mike Conley, thumb questionable for tonight's game. Dante DiVincenzo is out indefinitely. On the Washington side, Alexandre Sarr out, ruled out for the ankle injury. Malcolm Brogdon questionable with a foot injury. Marvin Bagley III out indefinitely. Sadiq Bey out indefinitely. So look at this matchup here. This is Sacramento and Washington at Minnesota. Excuse me. So we'll look at the latest on this game. So they played last month in Washington. The total is 223. Minnesota's favored by 14 and a half. Minnesota won, but they did not cover the 14. It was 121.06, and it went over 223. So it's the same area, 223 and a half. It hasn't really moved. Actually, sorry, it's 224 now. It did go up 224, my apologies, in some books. Washington has lost 10 straight games, as you know. 4-6 against the spread. 5-5 to the over-under. Yeah, let's see. And this game is at 17 and a half. Wow. Minnesota, 7-3 last 10, 5-5 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. Minnesota has won 5 straight games. I do have a play on this game that I like. I have a play on this game. Definitely have a play on this game. 5 straight wins for Minnesota. They're off a road trip. I like this. Definitely have a play on this game. I'm going to give that to you in a moment. Minnesota 4-1 to the over. So I do have a play on this game, like I said. This is probably going to be one of my top plays today, believe it or not. And it's not what you think either, guys. It's not what you think. I see a similar situation that we had in D.C., in Washington, D.C. Last month, a couple weeks ago. Definitely see a similar situation, which is Washington covering this big number at 17 and a half. Reason being because Minnesota, not only are they off a 2-game road trip. Like I said, I like to fade teams coming off a road trip, but they're in a sandwich spot. Guess who they have next? The Sacramento Kings. This is a team that they lost to. They lost to these guys last year in November 27th. So this is 1,000% a look-ahead spot for Minnesota against Sacramento. So again, I'm backing the Washington Wizards. This is a situational spot for Washington to take advantage of. Again, they had a day out. They didn't play since the 30th of January, so they had about 48 hours, or 24. I had a day off, basically, before this game tonight. So that's the reason why I'm backing Washington here. Again, it's just a sandwich spot. Minnesota's in. Again, they have to play Sacramento. This is so they're looking ahead to Sacramento in the loss that they had back in November of last year. So Washington's the play for me, plus 17.5. Let it keep going higher. I'll still take Washington. It's still sitting at 17.5. It hasn't really moved. Yeah, I'm still on Washington no matter what. I'll be on that. That's one of my top plays of the day. I like that, and I like the over. Over 224.5. It's gone to 224 in some books, like I said. So I like the over in this game. Like this is one of my top plays of the day. Even though they are playing to the under, I like the over in this game. So I think it'll still, like that's why I say it's a repeat of last month's game in DC. Over 223.5, 224, plus 17.5 Washington. That's my play for that game. Next game, Brooklyn at Houston. Houston 14.5 point favorites. Total is 216.5. This one has come down to 214, and it's 15. The line's gone to 15 now for the Houston Rockets. Now, regarding the injury report on the Brooklyn side for the Brooklyn Nets, Cam Johnson, ankle ruled out indefinitely. Cam Thomas, hamstring ruled out. Bojan Bogdanovic ruled out. Houston side, Houston Rockets. Alperen Seguin, calf injury, questionable. Jabari Smith Jr., out indefinitely. So take a look at this matchup. This is Houston at Brooklyn. So the matchup history here. This is the first meeting of the season. Brooklyn is 2-8 last 10 games, 5-5 against the spread, 3-7 to the under. Last 5 games, 1-4. Brooklyn. Last 5 here. Brooklyn is 1-4. 0-5 to the under. So clearly this team's lacking offensively. Clearly having problems. I'm surprised he even got to over 100 points against in the last game. This is the second game of a road trip. Seems like the Brooklyn scores over 100 points on the road, and then at home they don't really score over 100 points. It's kind of a weird dichotomy for this team. Very, very strange. Anyhow, Houston, last 10 games, 7-3. Last 10, 6-3-1 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. Houston off a road trip, a long road trip. Again, they are 4-1 last 5 games, 3-2 to the over. This game's a pass. I have no opinion on this game whatsoever. When I come back this afternoon, I'll give some player props for this game. That's about it. But as far as the side and total, I have nothing here for this game. This game's a complete pass. Next game, Lakers at New York, at the Big Apple. Open up 9.5, total 227.5. And right now we're looking at still at 9, and actually seeing some 10s on the board. a 10. Yeah, it's going to 10 now at one book. And we're seeing 228. Yeah, 228, and we're seeing a 10 come up from 9.5. Yep, starting to pop up. So if you like the Knicks, jump on them right now before this number gets higher and higher. And the total, like I said, is 228. So for the New York side, for the Knicks, the New York Knicks. Josh Hart, questionable knee injury. Mitchell Robinson's downgraded to being out for the game against the Lakers. We do have on the Lakers side Gabe Vincent, questionable with knee injury. Dorian Finney-Smith's shoulder is questionable to play Saturday. Anthony Davis, abdominal, out indefinitely. Christian Wood, out indefinitely. So we're going to take a look at this matchup, the head-to-head. I don't believe they have played. Let me just double check and see if they've played this season. Let's see. Yeah, this is their first meeting of the season. Lakers last 10, 7-3. Last 10 games, 5-4-1 against the spread. 6-4 to the over. Lakers. Lakers are on a 6-game road trip. They're 3-1 on the road trip right now. Overall, 4-1 last 5 games. 3-2 to the over. Thought they'd be an under team, but it looks like they're putting up some points offensively. New York, 7-3 last 10, 6-4 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. New York's won 3 straight games and covered 3 straight games. Very impressive. Next 3 straight, and overall 5 straight wins. They're 5-0 the last 5. 3 straight covers, and they are 2-3 to the under. So the Knicks on this winning streak are doing it with defense, 2-3 to the under, playing very good defense, which is very impressive. Yeah, the only way to look in this game is the Knicks. You got to take the Knicks here. The Knicks minus 10. I got to take New York here at minus 10. I like him here. Yeah, I like the Knicks here minus 10. I definitely like the Knicks here. Knicks minus 10 for me. Like I said, if you like the Knicks, you want to get them right now at 9.5, 10. If it goes any higher to 10.5 or 11, this is a stay away. So take the Knicks. Don't even think twice about it. Minus 10. And you know what? I would go as far as to say take him in the first half. I believe this number might be either 5.5 or 6.5. I would look at a first half as well. But for me, mainly I'm looking at the full game Knicks 9.5, 10. And I wouldn't talk you off at a first half either. So that's my take on this game. Next game, Miami at San Antonio. This game here is minus 1 San Antonio. Total 224. Spurs coming off a massive win at home versus the Milwaukee Bucks. A big win. Their biggest win of the season. Right now, this game is at 223.5. It's starting to come down a little bit. Yeah, 223.5. 223.5. I'm seeing here. Yeah, mainly 223.5. So we're gonna look at the injury report for this game. So it's mainly ones right now. 1.5 is coming up now for San Antonio. So we're gonna look at the injury report here. We're gonna look at the Miami Heat for the injuries. So Miami. Jimmy Butler still suspended. What else is new? Josh Richardson, heel, out indefinitely. Drew Smith, Achilles, out for the season. San Antonio. They are clean, no injuries at all. Seems like they're one of the healthiest teams along with Sacramento in the league. So this game itself, Miami San Antonio, I believe they played already. Let me just double check this, but I'll verify. In this matchup here, yeah, they played last month, January 19th. That was about 2 weeks ago in Miami. Heat were 3.5-point favorites. Totals 220. At that time, Heat covered and won 128-107, and went over the total 220. So overall, Miami last 10 games, 4-6 last 10, 4-6 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Heat 2-3 last 10, and are 3-2 to the over. San Antonio's 3-7 last 10, 3-7 against the spread, 8-2 to the over. 2-3 last 5 games, and 5-0 to the over. San Antonio playing some exceptional basketball, and their offensive power is amazing. I know they're on a back-to-back. I know the Spurs played last night. Let me look at this carefully. Oh man. Because Miami's been playing pretty well since Jimmy Butler. They've been playing decent. I'm going to take the over in this game. I know they played last night, but I'm going to continue with the over here. I mean, the Spurs are an offensive machine. They're a young team, too. So I don't think fatigue's going to be a factor. Remember, they played at home last night. So I'm going to take San Antonio here in the over. I mean, yeah, I know that the total, I believe it's, let me look at the total again. It's 220. It seems in 223. So there might be a bit of buyback, a little bit of buyback, with the total going down to 223. But I still, yeah, and that could factor in because they played last night, obviously, because that's why it's going down. I understand that, but in my opinion, I would take that buyback at the 223 and push it up to the over. In my opinion, that's what I would do. I like it. I like that. I'd take the over. Remember, it was 220 when they played last month in Miami. Now it's 223. I definitely like the over here. Definitely like the over, even though the numbers come down from 224 to 223. Buyback, a lot of buyback. So you want to get the over here, over 223.5. As far as the side, yeah, I got no play on the side. That's a tight one, tight play on the side for the spread. Yeah, I like the over in this game. That's all. Next game and final game is going to be Portland at Phoenix. Phoenix at Portland. Excuse me. Phoenix is a 2.5-point favorite on the road. Total 228. Right now, their threes coming across the board, even 3.5. And it is still 228. It's 229 now. It's come to 229. Portland, one of the hottest teams in the NBA. They're playing tonight against Phoenix. Phoenix played last night at Golden State, so they're in Portland now. So we got the Phoenix update for injury status. They're healthy, no injuries to report. Portland, Jeremy Grant, questionable with an ankle injury. Matisse Thybulle, out indefinitely, so he's not playing in this game. Head-to-head between these two teams, Portland and Phoenix. The last 10 games here. This is the third meeting between these two teams. So this is the third time they're playing. First two games were in Phoenix, November 2nd. In Phoenix, they played. At that time, Phoenix was a 13-point favorite. And the total was 229. The final was 103.97. Portland covered. Phoenix won under 229. Second game, December 15th in Phoenix. Phoenix was an 11-point favorite. This game, the total was 230.5. It was 116-109. Phoenix. Portland covered once again. Under is 230. This game here, we'll look at the last 10 games. 7-3 last 10 games. 4-5-1 against the spread. 6-4 to the over. 4-1 last 5. That's Phoenix. They've covered 2 games out of the 5 games as a favorite on the road. So they are 2-3 to the under last 5 games. Portland last 5 games. Last 10 games. 6-4 last 10. 7-3 against the spread. 4-5-1 to the under. 4-1 last 5. That's Portland. Portland a live home dog. As a home dog, Portland has covered. First of all, they're 4-1 in the last 5 games and are 1-3-1 to the under. And Portland has covered 7 straight games in a row. 3 of those games they were home underdogs, and they covered as a home dog. Once again, they're a home dog tonight against Phoenix. 3.5. It's gone to 4. The only thing I can take here, because Portland's playing so well right now, my only play is the under. I like the under in this game. Under 228.5. I like the under in this game. Both teams are defensive minded, and I know it's gone to 229. I understand that, but I still like the under. I'm still playing the under. So if you like the under like myself, you're gonna wait to get the best number. So I'm not in no rush to bet this game. I'll wait for a better number and get the under in this game. I like the under a lot. And I'm gonna take Phoenix on the money line. Phoenix on the money line. They've handled this team pretty well. I know this is a different Portland team altogether. But I like Phoenix on the money line. I don't want to take the spread because Phoenix as a home dog, they've been playing very well. So the angle is the Phoenix money line and under 229. But like I said, wait to get a better number later on the day and bet the under for this game. That's my take for that. All right, so thank you very much for joining me. My name is Abby on Beat the Number, the NBA Morning Edition. Hopefully, when you see the video, and you're able to get some valuable numbers for this game, get some valuable information here. Whether you favor or follow, it's up to you. I just choose the games, or I just pick I pick a side or a total for what I see and what I like. You don't have to follow, or you can fade. I hope you still cash your tickets. I hope you guys still cash your tickets as always. Thank you very much for watching. Hit the like button and subscribe button. Very important, so we can keep giving you these picks and plays for the National Basketball Association. Good luck to you. Stay blessed. Stay true to yourself. Believe in yourself. Peace. We'll see you this afternoon. We'll discuss props, the best props and more top plays. Take care.